only 3 chisels were found at Must Farm, which could suggest they were specialist tools used by experienced woodworkers. This is strange, as the gouge is a more unusual tool today over chisels, but this could further suggest the type of woodworking or how different the style of woodworking was in the Bronze Age.
There are fewer chisels than there are axes and gouges within the settlement context, so maybe that says something about the sort of refinement of woodworking within our context.
One of the particularly interesting chisels found is a tanged chisel, but the only one of this type found was heavily covered in concretions.
What is a tanged chisel? Well, in the context of Must Farm, it's part of the woodworking toolkit, but it's not as prevalent as the axes and the gouges. So it sits at the other end of the story from the axe in terms of the whole sort of woodworking story within the context of Must Farm pile dwelling settlement.
A chisel implies refined carpentry for cutting joints and fitting pieces of wood together. They are tools used for removing smaller quantities of material, sometimes in smaller spaces where an axe would not work effectively. Chisels are different from gouges in that chisels have a flat blade, whereas gouges are curved blades on the profile. Tanged chisels appear in the late Wilburton phase of the late Bronze Age, around 1000 BC, and become more prevalent in the Ewart Park phase, to which the Must Farm settlement dates to.
Chisels are relatively common finds in the Bronze Age, and they do turn up in hoard context. So, you know, they're part of the later Bronze Age metalwork repertoire.
Chisels, like other tools in prehistory, almost certainly played multiple roles beyond woodworking. They're useful tools in metalworking for opening moulds, carving stone moulds, decorating metalwork and removing casting debris. Though there is a very limited amount of bronze fragments found, which would suggest metalworking did not occur on site beyond maintenance.
So if you take apart a modern chisel, it will look like the Bronze Age example from Must Farm. So in that sense, the technology hasn't changed for 3,000 years.